Hey guys, this is Dan with Gears and Gadgets. Thanks for tuning in. Today is a pretty big day for me. I get to unveil a new motorcycle on the channel here. As you see behind me, this is my 2018 Harley-Davidson Heritage 114. I bought this back when the 2018s came out with the new Softail platform. And around that time, there was a lot of really cool things going on with Harley-Davidson and their product line. So the bike that I'm gonna unveil on the channel today, I'm not gonna make this super long-winded. Let's just go ahead, get it in here. That's right, guys. This is a 2021 Livewire, not Harley-Davidson Livewire. They've rebranded now as Livewire. It still is a Harley-Davidson in its DNA and in its VIN number. Matter of fact, the contacts that I had were with Harley-Davidson. So this Livewire, I actually had to go to LA to pick it up. It was a 5.5-hour trip for me to trailer this thing back. Now for the video, I did not fly out there and ride back with it. I know there's a whole bunch of people out there who see this motorcycle and immediately scoff at the fact that it can't do long duration rides. That's not why I reached out to Harley-Davidson to get my hands on this Livewire. Now this video is not going to be a first impressions type of ride. I actually rode this 2.5 years ago. I rode a Livewire, and I'll link that video up above. What I will tell you is today was the first day that I was able to actually get out and ride this bike. I did film, but I didn't do any moto vlogging because, well, I kind of already knew that my commentary was going to be the same as what my 2.5-year-old video was. Holy crap. So while I did want to unveil this today on the channel and let you guys know that I will be doing quite a bit of videos with this motorcycle, the reason why I'm unveiling it today, and then I'm gonna kind of put it off to the side on this channel. I am still going to ride it, but I have another vehicle being delivered here tomorrow that is ridiculous. I'm really excited to get that in the garage. So you will see this Livewire in the back for probably another week or so while I'm filming with the other vehicle, but I will be riding this because there's a lot of stuff I wanna talk about with the Livewire. I think it's a fantastic motorcycle. I'll say that right off the bat. A couple things to talk about right now is that Livewire is its own separate brand now, essentially underneath Harley-Davidson. So matter of fact, the people that I reached out to through Livewire were Harley-Davidson people managing the Livewire program. And it still has an HD VIN. And it's still very much, I mean, matter of fact, the tires that are on here are the Harley-Davidson branded Scorcher Sports. So still very much Harley-Davidson DNA through and through. I think what they did with this motorcycle was smart. In my assessment, the Livewire, well, which first of all, the glaringly obvious issue was it was a $29,000 motorcycle originally. Now that they've rebranded as Livewire, it has dropped down to $21,000, $22,000. Which is a much more palatable price for what this is. I'll make another video later on whether or not I think it's worth it. I do want to ride it a little bit more before I make that assessment. However, I will say that now this bike branded as Livewire sort of solves a big problem that I think Harley-Davidson had, which was your typical, stereotypical Harley-Davidson rider is not necessarily interested in an EV, and then your EV interested type of rider maybe isn't going to be so much as interested in Harley-Davidson. It was being sold under the HD brand kind of almost to nobody. And it was really a shame because it is an amazing motorcycle. I do not want to see this thing go away. I think it's actually way ahead of its time. This motorcycle is something that I am very excited to talk about. I'm going to have to be very careful making videos with this bike because on the ride I took today, it's very easy for this thing to get up to speed and it gets there quick. So the assessment I had today when I was talking to some people at work who were very interested in what it was like to ride this electric bike, they asked me what the 0 to 60 time was. And my explanation is it almost feels like there is no 0 to 60 time. It's just 0 and 60. When you twist that throttle, it's like you're just there. So there's some really interesting things to talk about with this. And I want to address everything that you guys potentially could want to know about this motorcycle. So please drop a comment down below. What would you like me to talk about in terms of the Livewire? And if the content does well enough, I very much would consider buying one of these Livewires. I mean, even if the content doesn't perform all that well, to be totally honest with you, this is a very fascinating bike to me in terms of a commuter motorcycle. So my initial assessment is, if you live in a city environment, I'm here in Phoenix, and if you can kind of use this bike to commute back and forth to the office, where you can basically ride to work with a backpack and maybe not even that much, and you're just going 20, 30 miles back and forth to the office, and you can come home at the end of the day and plug it in. You don't care necessarily about your charge time, because you plug it in and you've got plenty of hours between when you get home and go to work the next day. It doesn't really matter how long it takes to charge. That's stuff I want to talk about. I don't even know recharge times yet. I took this to work today. When I picked it up, it had 100 miles of range on it. And when I got home now, I believe it has 42%, 44 miles of range left on it. So this is going to be the first time that I get to even charge it up and see if it charges. I want to make sure everything's working and go through a lot of that stuff. So again, super excited to unveil this Harley-Davidson. Very excited to unveil this Livewire. As of right now, this bike has 803 miles on it. So it's a brand new motorcycle. I do need to charge the battery, so we will pull out the charger. Plug that in. I have a blue light on top. Pop open the charge port. The charger just switched to flashing blue. So 7 hours and 17 minutes. And this is the reason why I said, in terms of a commuter bike, there's a pretty good chance that you have 7 hours from the time that you come home to the time that you have to go to work again. So if what you're doing is putting on 40, 50 miles of range a day, I mean, you have plenty of time to recharge this thing. There is no need to be plugging in when you get to the office. So there you have, that is the Livewire setup. The charger on the wall. It is flashing blue, which means that it is taking a charge. So there we have it. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you guys very much for supporting the channel. Without your guys' support, none of this ever exists. So I really appreciate everything you guys do to help this whole channel grow. I am beyond humbled when brands are willing to work with me, like Livewire, Harley-Davidson was willing to do with this. And when you guys see what I am unveiling on the channel later this week, it's getting crazy. I love every bit of it, and I thank you guys very much for letting me do this. So thank you guys very much for tuning in. Stay tuned for some more Livewire content. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys want to see with this Livewire? I want to address whatever questions you guys may or may not have. So thank you very much for tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in, please hit that subscribe button down below. Remember, likes go a long way to help support the channel. I will see you guys next time.